Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last week you may have watched me hard prune or renovation prune my smoke bush for aesthetic purposes. This time I'm hard pruning my elderberry just to keep it alive. This is my black lace elderberry and it's probably been here for at least 12 years. And I started experiencing the wilt problem or the dieback problem probably about 6 years ago. So what would happen is this would be leafed out and black cut leaf foliage, just beautiful. And it's in the back corner of my garden. So my elderberry likes this spot. It stays a little damper here and it just thrives here. So, but what I would notice is one day the canes on this would be beautiful. I'd look out the next day and individual canes would start dying back from the tip all the way down. So my solution to that initially was I assumed there was something in these canes, and there was something in here, and I would just cut back pretty far past where the damage was. So let's say the damage came to here, I would cut it back well beyond that just to make sure I got out whatever was in there. And that seemed to do the trick. But then more and more canes would start dying back throughout the growing season. So then I decided that I was gonna hard prune it every year. And when I do that, then I don't have any dieback. So that's telling me, well, didn't tell me initially. I ended up reaching out to my friend Stacey Hirvela at Spring Meadow Nursery. And it's always a good idea to reach out to people who know more than you about certain things, well, about a lot of things, to kind of talk through things and figure out a solution. And I explained to Stacey what was going on and how I was managing it. And so she did a little deeper digging, and it's not a definitive answer, but I originally was attributing the damage here to an elderberry borer. And that might be one of the things that's doing it, but Stacey suggested that it could be an elderberry cane moth. And they thrive on, well, the adults lay their eggs on stems that are at least a year old. So when I was leaving my elderberry up and not doing the hard cutback, those canes were getting long enough to be a good host for the eggs. So that's when they'd lay their eggs, and then the following year I would see the damage on the plant when it wasn't cut back. So when I cut this back and hard prune it, I don't have that damage. So I'm thinking that it's the elderberry cane moth. It's the spindle worm of that moth. So I hard prune it, but I'm sacrificing the flowers. And guys, the flowers on this are just beautiful. They're white, lacy flowers, very pollinator friendly, produces edible berries. So I loved it for all those purposes. But in order to keep this alive, I do have to cut it back because I do have a problem with those. Possibly it could be both of them. It could be the elderberry borer and it could be the elderberry cane moth. It could be a combination of those two things. But the solution to that is a hard prune or renovation prune. So that's what I'm getting after today, and it's a completely different reason than I had for cutting back my cotinus. That was aesthetic and management, size management. This is pest management. So I'm gonna get out, I have my saw, my loppers, and my pruners, and I'm gonna cut this back hard, and I'll update you later in the season to show you what it looks like. It's not gonna really have any flowers, but it's okay. Really, the foliage on this is exceptional. It's such a beautiful plant. So if you can't grow a Japanese maple, maybe your conditions are too harsh, maybe try an elderberry, black lace elderberry. I have another elderberry on the property in my side yard, which is a laced up elderberry, which is really great for those smaller spaces because the black lace can get huge. This also does some size management too. This gets pretty big, but black lace, check that out as well. Really a nice size plant for a smaller space. So I'm gonna get in here with my saw, my loppers, and my pruners and take it down. I cut this back drastically. It's nearly to the ground. It's probably about 6 inches from the ground, and truly a renovation prune. But what I discovered is many of the canes are hollowed out in the center. They should look like this, nice white pith. They have that. So I'm gonna cut a few of these open and see if I can find anything. But I do have a lot of bud, some growth points here on this. I just don't know how it's going to do. It's been here a long time and everything has a shelf life. So we'll see how it does. In a couple weeks, I'll go and top dress with some compost, a little bit of fertilizer, and wish it well and see what happens. So that's the situation right now, and I will update you later in the season so you can see what this looks like later. But it's always a good idea when you're not certain about something and not sure how to address it, reach out to your extension office or a trusted professional. In this case, I called my friend Stacey Hirvela from Spring Meadow Nursery, who helped kind of walk through what the possibilities could be. We weren't able to definitively say that it is the borer or the cane moth, but my solution to it is a renovation prune. The bottom line is, when you're going to prune something, decide why you're pruning it first of all, and then prune it accordingly. And in this case, it was for pest management. My other one was for aesthetics and size control for the smoke bush. All right, guys, I will update you later in the season so we can see what this looks like. Fingers crossed it's going to be okay. It's a lovely shrub, and we'll see what happens. You know, in the garden, anything's possible. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please throw me a thumbs up, subscribe, that would be awesome, and hit that little bell and you'll never miss a post. All right, guys, see you in the next one.